Oh, happy Saturday to you. It is the weekend. And it looks like a beautiful weekend out there to boot. Um, so I'm doing something a little differently today with my setup. I've got my camera. I'm using my iPhone again, right? So the picture's a little bit better, I think. And I've got it set up in front of my laptop. So I can't actually see myself very well. So we'll see how that goes because I really want to focus in on you guys. So welcome to Reflections with me. I'm your host. Welcome to those who are with me live and those who are watching the recording. This is where I reflect on the readings for today. Usually it's the gospel reading out of the Catholic liturgy, which is, I think, other churches who use a liturgy use the same schedule of readings or pretty close to it anyway. So it's maybe more common than just the Catholic Church. But in any event, that's what I'm drawing from. Today, Saturdays are set aside special for the Blessed Virgin Mary. And, now that I think about it, at some point I might talk about that a little bit, but not today. And so there's a special liturgy that is, that we have that celebrates her life in her son, Christ, right? Because she, in and of herself, as important as she is, she's not as important as the Blessed Trinity, the Holy Trinity, God. And so all of her merit comes from her son. And so it's a liturgy that highlights her, but it is still the liturgy that celebrates the Holy Trinity, worships, glory, pray, a whole bit, right? So we may go into that at some point. But for now, we're going to stay with what I consider the ordinary reading for this day, which is from the normal Saturday liturgy. And I'm going to go get it. Now, here's the thing. What I've been doing is I've been showing the readings on screen and reading them off my laptop. But because my camera's in front of my laptop, I can't see the screen. So I'm going to use my iPad to do the reading. I'm going to experiment with some other setups just to see what's most optimal. But in any event, I apologize that I'm not sharing the reading with you today. So let's see what we've got. I'm just going to read it to you. And I know it's boring just to listen to somebody read. I'm sorry about that. So this is coming from chapter 7, verse 40, which is pretty close to where we left off yesterday. It says, some in the crowd who heard these words of Jesus said, "This is truly the prophet." Others said, "This is the Christ," or Messiah, right? The promised one. But others said, "The Christ will not come from Galilee, will he?" And we'll get into what that means. It's a slur. Yeah, definitely. It's a slur. Does not Scripture say that the Christ will be of David's family and come from Bethlehem, the village where David lived? Hello. Where was Jesus born? Bethlehem. And his family's lineage is of David. So what happened, after he was born, at some point, his family fled to Egypt to avoid persecution. Well, death, actually. And they stayed there for a while. And then they came back and settled in Nazareth. So it's very possible that people didn't know where Jesus was actually born. It's very possible. So a division occurred in the crowd because of him. Some of them even wanted to arrest him, but no one laid hands on him. Now, it's this, in our previous readings, we've heard them use the term the Jews, right? And I've always said this is the religious authorities. We don't hear that here. some in the crowd. Some of them wanted to arrest him. We don't hear anything about the Jews, right? So it's either a mixed group. It could be Roman citizens, Greek citizens, Jewish citizens. But it was a mixed group, right? So the guards went to the chief priests and Pharisees. That would be the Jews. The guards probably are Romans, okay? Romans. Why did you not bring him? So the Pharisees and the scribes, the chief priests and the Pharisees asked the guards, why did you not bring him? So they had already conspired to do something here. The guards answered, never before has anyone spoken like this man. So the Pharisees answered them, have you also been deceived? Have any of the authorities or the Pharisees believed in him? But this crowd, which does not know the law, is accursed. All right. So we're getting some slurs. We got some condescension going on here. Condensation. No. Condescension. Yes. Okay. But this crowd, which does not know the law, these ignoramuses, and basically what that says, they're ignorant, is accursed. Nicodemus showed up earlier in the Gospel according to St. John. He came to Jesus at night for fear of the Jews, right? So he was a secret follower of Jesus. But he was a Pharisee. Nicodemus, one of their members who had come to him earlier, him being Jesus, said to them, does our law condemn a man before it first hears him and finds out what he is doing? Right? That's the law. So he was appealing to the legal structure. And there's a legal structure in the book. I don't know where it is in the Old Testament, whether it's Leviticus or Deuteronomy or where it is, but it talks about the legal process if someone is accused of something. They answered and said to him, you are not from Galilee also, are you? Look and see that no prophet arises from Galilee. Then each went to his own house. Galilee. You're not from Galilee also, are you? Being from Galilee, or being called a Galilean, was also a bit of a slur. Galilee was an impoverished part of the kingdom. They spoke their own dialect of Aramaic. They were fairly unschooled, illiterate, and looked down upon, right? It would I remember when I was a kid growing up, there are parts of the country that were looked down upon by other parts of the country. And I'm talking, remember the TV show, The Beverly Hillbillies? Well, the hillbillies were looked down upon by the educated, moneyed elites. Even the middle class probably looked down on them. The people who lived up in the mountains, the hillbillies, mountains of Appalachia, unschooled, poor, didn't speak proper English. It's the same situation here. If you're from Galilee, looked down upon. But the kicker is, Jesus was not initially from Galilee. He was from Bethlehem, of the family of David. He grew up in Galilee, yes. But there was more to him than just being a Galilean. But regardless, whether someone's a Galilean or not, Nicodemus was correct in appealing to the law. And they immediately turned on him, looked down on him, because they had their own agenda. sometimes it's important for me to remember that perhaps I have my own agenda about something, and therefore I discount people. They don't know what I know. They've not read the books I've read. And so I discount what they have to say. I don't listen to them. Listening is so important. And it's a skill that we have to develop. Yeah, someone's going to be smarter than me, and they may look down on me because my ideas aren't nuanced through various educational thought or whatever. And I may turn around and look at someone who I don't think is as educated maybe as I am, and I may do the same thing to them. It's not right. We need to listen to each other regardless. There's a difference between being educated and being smart. Big difference. You can be educated and not be smart. And you can be uneducated and be very smart. So that shouldn't be a criteria. It's important to listen to people, to listen to each other, to entertain other ideas. And I would say especially when we think less of others. Those are especially the people we need to listen to. So that'll be my goal for today, to listen to those whom I deem unlistenable. Yeah. So thanks again for spending some time with me and listening to my rantings and ravings and my reflections. Thanks for those who are with me live. Thanks to you who are watching the recording via YouTube, maybe. You can find it on YouTube. It's called Reflections with CJ, or Facebook. You can see it on Facebook, right? And, anytime you can spend some time with me live, you can always leave comments, which I can read and share and respond to. So that would be fun too. But in any event, thanks for being with me. And I pray that you are happy and healthy and safe. And God bless.